Hello, greetings, and welcome to what I've watched in the fourth week of February. Is it the third week? I can't remember. Right, you'll notice I don't have anything down the side today because I have only watched 3 movies. And I'm recording this on my phone for just ease, so I can't use the phone to show you the letterbox. But I'm sure for 3 movies we don't need to, and one of them I've seen before anyway. So the 3 movies I've watched this week. The first one was called The Village in the Woods. This one is on Shudder, I believe. And it was god awful. I give it half a star out of 5. Do not put yourself through it. It is British. It's a story about a couple that inherit a pub in the middle of nowhere. It's very dilapidated, it's very run down, but when they get there, the villagers are all a bit weird. Kind of like, I suppose, wanted to be like The Wicker Man or a bit of American Werewolf in London. Really wasn't. Completely naff, really like over exaggerated character stereotypes. I didn't like anything about it. It was uncomfortable to the point of being cringy. The acting was so poor. I wouldn't recommend it. It wanted to be eerie. And another thing, why do British films, when they try to do horror, think that there's a constant massive heavy fog everywhere that's moving? There isn't. I mean, they were nowhere near water. There's massive amounts of fog drifting about all over the place. It's just naff. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I didn't like it, so avoid Village in the Woods. If you liked it, let me know in the comments and let me know why, but I hated it. So the next one I watched was on Saturday afternoon. I watched it with Isaac, and that is Happy Gilmore, which I've seen many, many, many times. It occurred to me, it came on telly as Isaac was going to bed one night and he wanted to see it. And I says, right, well, we'll watch it at the weekend. So we did, and I thought he'll like this because you know the bits with Adam Sandler swearing, they bleep it all out, but it's very clear what he's saying. You know, so he loved it. He really liked it. He laughed a lot at it, and it held his attention. I love early Adam Sandler movies. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Airheads. Love all that type of stuff. Love the sort of people he has come in and do parts that went on to be bigger actors. Unfortunately, there's a lack of Steve Buscemi in this, who did appear in a lot of his movies. Wedding Singer's another one I really love. He's a really good straight actor as well, so The Cobbler is one I really like with him in. Yeah, so Happy Gilmore, that I gave a 4 out of 5. I'm a big fan, I love it. So the last movie I watched this week was yesterday, and it was Space Sweepers. It's a Korean movie on Netflix. Isaac was complaining he didn't want to do his reading for the day. He has to read half an hour every day for school for a program called Accelerated Reading. So we compromised. I said, right, we'll watch this movie. You will really enjoy it. It's sci-fi. It's set in space. It's like a bit Star Warsy, a bit like Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, it's in space. It's in a spaceship. That's enough. I said, but it's subtitled. It's Korean. And he watched it with me, so he was forced to read all the subtitles. So we got round him not wanting to do his reading by this. I would heartily recommend this one. I really enjoyed it. The characters were all really strong. They were really individual. They didn't sort of blend together like in some movies they tend to be. Who's that again? What are they doing? What, you know, they're really distinct, standout characters that are all very different. The special effects are really, really good. There is a robot kind of like K2SO in Star Wars. I've forgotten what it's called. That's a disgrace. Anyway, the robot's really cool in this. The individual characters that we get to know, I liked every one of them. The storyline is they are kind of like, you know, in Star Wars, there's scavengers that go about and collect stuff to sell. This is kind of what these guys do in space. And in the future, and they scavenge about in space for like metals and discarded sort of metallic rubbish, I suppose. And they sweep it all up and they go and they sell it. And this band are just having no luck. They're always having bills for things like they drive into something and damage it, so they have to pay. And it's a constant, like, when they get money, they're giving it back. They, you know, the taxes. And something comes up that may change their fortunes. But this something they really have to juggle with their conscience. So I don't want to go into detail as to what it is, but it does include a child who is really cute, really gorgeous in this movie. Really acting's fantastic. So there's nothing I didn't like about this. I really enjoyed it. So if you can put up with subtitles, there's a lot of English in it also. Check it out. It is really well worth watching. So other than those three movies this week, what we've been watching is a series called Dark on Netflix. We had seen the first two seasons. The last season we left it for too long. Now this series is awesome, but so hard to follow. It's I don't even really want to tell you anything in case you want to go see it. All I will say is it is a series to do with time travel. It's not immediately apparent. It's not very sci-fi like you would expect. It is a very dark, I know it's called dark, but it is a very dark series. But it is so hard to keep up with who's who and what time they're in, and like loads of the actors have maybe got three people playing them at different ages, and it's German. I love watching German because I did German to A level, and it's a language I've always had a love for. And I love to sort of like try and watch bits of it with no subtitles and see how much I can get, because it's been a lot of years since I've been at school. But yeah, fantastic series, but really, really difficult to follow. And especially if you're watching it, I would recommend binge all three. So you're watching them one after the other. We left months between season 2 and 3, and it's like, who's that again? And whose mother's he? And whose father's that? And where did he come from? And what's her name again? I had IMDb out, scrolling through the pictures. Right, that's Jonas, that's Adam, that's Michael. I said they should have had like two families in this and concentrated on those, and that's it. But they had a load of characters. There's more than one version of each one. We're talking different timelines. It even gets even more complicated than that, but it is awesome. So if you're willing to think a little bit and give something your full attention, because you have to give it your full attention, Dark is well worth checking out. Other than that, I've been watching just a load of true crime stuff and ghosty stuff and paranormal stuff, just trolling through Prime and YouTube and the like. But I think that's all I've watched this week. I don't think there's any other movie. Hopefully I'll get a few more watched this week. I know that's not a lot for this week, but let me know below. There are a few on my list. Malcolm and Marie. I think I did tell you at the end of last week I did watch The White Tiger, which was brilliant on Netflix. Fantastic. I'm not sure if I covered what it's about, but it's just an epic story. I'm sure I covered it. I'm not going to talk about it again. There's one on Amazon Prime that I really want to see, and it's got Peter Dinklage in it. About a woman that takes control of older people's assets. Is it called I Care a Lot or something? Can't remember, but I want to watch that. But if there's any other recommendations, guys, put them down below in the comments. I'm always up to hear anything that you think's good, well worth a watch. So I'll end this here for the week. Thank you for watching. Any recommendations below, and I will catch up with you guys probably next week. Over and out from Lisa Lives.